I spent years trying to develop either bloated game projects or simple games that I thought were fun at the time, but ended up thinking they were too simple and scaled them up anyways, which turned out to be no fun either. Well, today I'm making a game in a fixed time frame, and I'm sticking to it regardless of the final project. I decided to make a maze escape horror game in the dark, so let's get into it. I started by creating a first person scene using Unreal's first person game template. My recording software didn't want to record Unreal Engine for whatever reason, so I'll just have to describe the process over gameplay footage or other development footage. I'll decide in post. I added a flashlight and gun to the first person character and was pretty much done. I mean, come on. It's a pre-made character. All the core programming was done for me. The flashlight is a spotlight that's part of the character pawn, and the gun's a mesh that you show or don't show, depending on if the visibility is set. I then got to work on the models. Since it's just a maze, the modeling was easy. I created cubes with edited proportions, added a single texture to them, and those were the walls. The floors are planes with a different texture. The only trick was creating different proportioned cubes and planes since this was a modular design and I had to account for the slight deviations a turn or extra meter here or there might cause. I also added a starting area with tiki torches. After importing them, I got to work on the maze layout. The modular aspect of what I was doing made it easy enough to modify on the fly. Next was the enemies. I decided I wanted 3. The first would be one that roams around and attacks when he sees you. So I looked up how to use the behavior tree on YouTube. After that, I had a nice space for what would become one enemy. More on that later. I duplicated the base enemy 3 times. One for the aforementioned seeing enemy, another for an enemy that knows where you are at all times, and finally a blind enemy that relies on only hearing you. I thought adding the enemy that perpetually stalks you would be the easier of the 2 variants. Simply remove the roaming instructions and only have it chase the player. But that failed. And even after adding a separate behavior tree, it still didn't work. I knew I'd have to do more difficult modifications for the blind enemy, but similar difficulties arose there too. Now this is supposed to be a simple prototype game, so I didn't want to spend hours solving problems for a game that wasn't planned for a full release anyways. As a short introductory level, I think it's for the best to have one enemy, and with its short length, the Stalker, as I decided to name him, would be too OP for the length, and a standard enemy relying on sight works just fine. I added a death screen and pause menu. I didn't add a home menu since this is a prototype and I wanted to get the players straight into a demonstration. The death menu gives you the options to restart or quit, same with the completed screen. The pause screen asks to continue or quit. These screens lack an options menu for the same reason I didn't add a home screen. I eventually got to adding new models to the enemies. I wanted to add custom models I had recycled, but due to rigging and animation time limits and my virtual inexperience with both, and none with retargeting, I got worried I'd go over schedule. So I added cylinders with eyes. I tried doing this inside the engine, but the nature of the native shape objects gave me trouble, so I went back into Blender to model and texture the character. I also added health and stamina to the player, and just health to the enemies. And after making some collision detection changes that are still beyond me, as well as minor oversights I needed to fix, the game was ready to ship. The game might not be perfect. It's missing audio, the models are overly simplistic, and some minor bugs that I most likely won't fix since it's a prototype, and also since the engine won't let me compile it anymore. I am proud to say I released a game that has some fun to it, no less. Don't expect this to become a regular thing. I want to get to doing more gaming videos, as well as make more serious games away from YouTube. But I wanted to upload a video about this little game I made. So go check out the game page, the links in both the description and the pinned comment. Anyways, if you like the video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and thanks for watching. I'm out.